Hi, welcome to COVID Homeschooling. Today I'm going to give you 10 super tips about classroom setup and supplies. Number 1, music can be very motivating. On days my kids are having trouble focusing, I'll throw on some music. Classical music stimulates creativity. Soundtracks of game music, like the old Nintendo, actually helps people to focus. I used to have a class that I taught, and they would dilly-dally when it came time to cutting out vocabulary cards. So I'd play things like the William Tell Overture, and those cards were cut out so quickly. Tip number 2, you should think about clipping corners. So when my student is done with their math page, I just clip the corner of their page, and then we can just open right up to where we left off. So this saves a lot of time. Number 3, supply management. This means having things ready to go before you sit down to do school. You want pencils ready. So I just keep a whole box of them sharpened sitting on the table, and that way there's no excuses. You could also waste a whole hour looking for supplies to build a Trojan horse model or a model of the cotton gin, and you don't want that. Number 4, make sure you have enough supplies for everybody. Do you want to sit around waiting for one person to finish with the glue stick? No, they're cheap. Buy plenty of them. Number 5, take advantage of when your kids are already sitting down. I actually get most of our homeschooling done when my kids are eating. They're already having to sit there, and if their mouths are full, that means that I can be the one doing the talking. My friend, she reads out loud to her kids while they sit at her feet and build Legos. Number 6, make the place where you do school comfortable and consistent. We mostly do school at our dining room table. We have fairly comfortable chairs. Now, if they want to move to another place to do independent work, I might let them, but good posture helps with the blood flow and mental capability. But we don't always use the table. We've even done science experiments in the bathroom because it's the only place that's dark enough for light experiments. But for things with a lot of writing, you really need to have a sturdy, flat surface. You don't want your kid doing much school in their beds because then it will condition their brains to where they have a hard time falling asleep at night. Number 7, figure out a system for what to do with school stuff. I don't have a whole room dedicated to homeschooling. A lot of people don't. So like I said, we do a lot of our school at the dining room table. We've tried containers for school stuff, but for now I've settled on drawers in the desk where we keep the computer. And so each kid has their own desk drawer and they just put all their stuff in it. If you don't want to have stuff hanging up on the walls, you can make two-sided pictures. So where you have a printed framed picture on one side and then you can flip it over and on the back side have like a world map. It's nice if you can put school stuff away when you're not doing school, or at least when other people come over. Number 8, don't assume that your kid has good scissor or glue skills. When I was in kindergarten, it was a whole year of crafts, but it's not like that anymore. So if you're going to do any projects that need scissors or glue, be prepared to be insanely patient. Give them tips before they cover the whole thing. Say things like, a dot of glue will do. Number 9, if you ever give them something, make sure your expectations are clear before you hand it to them, because their creative little minds will always do what they shouldn't. You hand them something like this, and they're going to say, "Ooh, that looks like a way to launch things." Or if you hand them a rubber band, that's going to get shot at someone. Or your microscope's going to get broken. If it's manipulatives, which are things that you would use for like math, like you could use these blocks for counting, you want to give them a chance to explore them before. Now, we'd probably say that this is playing, but it gives them a chance to figure out different things that they might want to do with it. And so once you've given them a couple minutes to explore, they might want to stack them up or something, then you say, okay, now we're going to use these for math. And it just kind of helps get all the wiggles out. And you might actually learn something about like something that they would do with them that you hadn't thought of. And the last one, if you want to have your own supplies, make sure the rules are very clear. Otherwise, you'll have dried out markers when you go to use them next time. So there you have it, 10 tips for the classroom management of supplies and setup. It's no big deal. You can handle this.